All right, as Jason and Mitch mentioned earlier, I'm Chris Harris with WPR Services. Got a long history with a manufacturing facility. We were a turnkey process, made conveyor systems and other robotic and machinery, industrial machinery, where I got to wear a lot of hats, but also got to see a lot of different demographics, our equipment installed in different cities, different facilities. And so I expunged everything over the course of my my tenure there, 25 years with that company. All of those things brought me into my 4 core products: PAL Watch, PAL Talk, PAL Link, and PAL Stop. They work together. They work independently. The PAL critters are for everything that they've done, which has been pretty successful, and hope to continue that tradition, Mitch. Indiana IoT Lab, I can't say enough about this facility. It's been a source of inspiration for me, and it's nice to see people again. So appreciate everything that they've done. We'll start with, before we get into detail about the product, the implementation of anything. You've got to think about that. You've got to think about a hardware, software, and an installation solution. PAL Talk communicates over BPL, which is broadband over power lines, and we redundantly use UHF and Wi-Fi. We communicate in hybrid layouts. If you have an existing layout that we have to take and integrate with, we're able to do that, working with existing network topographies and methodologies. Again, we want to make this be a seamless transition from our product to your facility. Our data gatherers, we can interpret 24 volt DC, 120 volt AC, serial, analog, and Magic Box can communicate to over 200 different native PLC protocols. If you don't have the necessary components to create a productive or predictive environment, we can provide those components to you with the goal of creating a machine learning baseline. It's a very important thing to create that baseline to have a predictive environment. We can work with your existing components. So if you're an Allen Bradley facility or a Siemens facility, we're not going to introduce something new. We want to give you something that is a spare part that's in your system. You're familiar with it. Your techs are familiar with it, and we can give you all of our. We want to again create a baseline, and so there's a lot of front end work that's done so that we can hit the ground running with our product. All of these, along with our patent pending AI, hardware and software, are tools that create a predictive environment. We'll start with PAL Talk. It talks to your machine centers, your personnel, and your OEMs. PAL Talk's extremely scalable. We're going to give you what you want to see from a machine. We can gather those datas in a variety of ways, as mentioned before, and we can give that data in a variety of ways, as easy as a battery-powered lighting pattern or a TV with a large display and a lot of data on that screen. Again, we want to give you exactly what you want to see from a machine center. And I'll flip over to a live feed. That's me in the Indiana IoT Lab, a lovely place. But let me flip over to show you some of those things that we have. All right, that's me. It's one of our portable devices. An example of a computer screen and signage that can be taken in place. Oh, I grabbed my phone. There we go. Can you guys hear me? All right. So visual displays can be done through a series of signage. giving you exactly what you need to see. Back. Mitch was right. It's going to be tough to get this all done in a few minutes. We can talk to your existing databases, your ERPs, your warehouse management systems, and animate exactly what you want to see. We want to give you an economical solution. So if you don't have those things that Jason's talked about with ERPs and warehouse management and asset trackings, the Paltalk is an inexpensive, economical version of those. Again, a maintenance and production tool all in one. One of the features in the Paltalk is what we call the glance metric technology. I've seen having to come up with a GUI through my history to fit things on one page, and the methodology on where you put buttons and in certain corners and color codes for things. I saw a lot of speedometer style indicators, and I saw a lot of wasted space on the screen. And so I wanted to give a glance metric that it's a proprietary reference column, and you can get a lot of things in a small amount of area that give you insight as to what is the current status of your production, what is the current status of what has already been run, and able to take all of your happenings and give it to you all on one page. That data is then it's gathered and it's shown over a live feed in an augmented methodology, and all of this data is root cause analysis and is in our root cause analysis AI. There's a lot you can do. A picture says 1,000 words and a video says one more, and through the trials of trying to come up with a digital twin and having really nice 3D graphics that take days and days and days to create, and it's just easier for me to take and put everything over a live video feed. And as a service person, visual maintenance can be done relatively easily, along with all of the data that's shown for a person to take a look at. Live video feeds allow you to do inventory control. There's a lot of inadvertent things that come off of this platform that we're beginning to tap into and develop. Here's an example of multiple machine centers. This is an animated desktop, something that is that's there in the background. We put all of our key metrics around the outer edges. This allows you to work in your normal day-to-day program. We don't want to replace what you have. We just want to take and help and augment your process. Now you have a digital twin you can immediately interact with. One of the most important data centers is that of your employees. So much happens, and I've seen so many things over the years to where the person that's there with the process just isn't analyzed. They're not talked to. Their opinion is not listened to, and being in the trenches installing equipment, I really saw the need to get this, to bring people involved. And so how can I create something that gathers that data and gathers it quickly, and then also brings employees in from the beginning of a project, so that way they feel involved with any type of industry X.0 transition and artificial intelligence. Again, creating cohesion and giving you predictability. Some of those methodologies that we use to gather information are voice control, as well as remote controls. Having a GUI, having an operator station 30 foot away from an operator is a challenge, or having an operator have to remember certain things and events. That way, when at the end of the shift, key into their ERP system, that's not applicable. It just doesn't happen. And so I wanted to give ways to make things quick, to be able to identify everything, to be able to record and log everything that's going on, and then using that along with the raw machine, the video, and the audio data to truly create a digital twin, a machine learning, people learning all together. One of your most important assets is your manufacturing athlete. again, not only their wisdom on the floor, but you want to keep everybody safe, and you want to have ergometric-minded philosophies in your facility. So we gather ergometrics and haptic feedbacks and ambient conditions. So many things that people don't take advantage of. An AI system that's just plugging in is looking and saying, hey, our production's bad today. Why is it? It's 130 degrees and 2 people are sick. So there's a lot of things that you need to gather to consider a predictive environment, to have a predictive environment. Once everything, the AI does its magic, then we want to put together a simple report. Something, again, with a 1-page. It's giving each department exactly what they want to see. We handle positive thresholds as a primary means. So rather than say that 100% of the time, 90% of the time the operator messed up, we want to take and highlight on what the things they did correctly. So a nice way of saying things. Immediate alerts can occur when they happen. Our reporting typically occurs daily and can be used to evaluate your financial software. We're counting widgets out the door. We can give you a second opinion on that matter. Another form of data gathering and giving is done through augmented reality platform. It's really taken on a new meaning now, just with ways of getting data and gathering data. PowTalk uses the Zap technology. It's a triggering system. I'll flip over to a live feed here in a second. Hopefully the transition will be a little smoother. It's a unique way to organize everything about your machine center and be able to recall at the click of a button. It can be keyed so that way when a person scans, they have to have the right visual credentials or nothing shows up. And I'll flip over to all right, so we're going to our area. All right, you can see the zaps in the background. They can be color coded so that certain personnel deals with a specific trigger. You can see the augmented reality comes up. It's triggered off of the zap, and what this does is it gives me the ability to interact with a specific area. Jason mentioned earlier to be able to pull your MSDS sheets, videos, and it's an interactive methodology that puts a technician into the proper environment, so where they have the right information. They're not second guessing. They're visually able to take and augment their work with the help of predetermined the files and videos. You can come out of it with service calls, get to a technician. It's endless what you can do with this technology. Flip back. PowTalk, it's mostly displaying information, but it also has very useful action buttons. With our animated desktop, we can launch external machines, other software, telnet sessions. We can also, similar to our augmented platform, we can take and launch specific documents about a machine center. Push out calendar events, and really take, if you have an emergency meeting, you can take everything from the animated desktop, go to your meeting and talk about those things. Again, that's POW Talk. It's a production floor digital twin, gathers machinery metrics and operator ergometrics, and captures conversation to give you machine center learning and predictive production principles and predictive maintenance principles. Get into POW Watch. POW Watch's primary objective is safety. We're able to single out human movement from other objects to know when a person's in a specific area. When a person's determined in an area, we give an audible and visual alarm. And what we want to do is give a fork truck driver or a mobile device operator visual and audible to let them know that a person is in an unsafe area, as well as the directional heading that they're going. We can interlock with machinery with this technology. This allows us to pause and disable specific machines. And if you have already other technologies that are human safety with light curtains and other fork truck monitoring systems, we can interlock with those. And so to kind of, check the checker type thing and give you, you can't have too much when you're dealing with safety. And this POW Watch is safety in mind and gives you those things. POW Watch records specific events with the ability to see what happened before and after the event. The time can be variable. It can, by default, it's 9 seconds before and after, and can change based on what you want to see before a specific event. It may take days of analysis with picture progression that puts you into the right knowledge as to what caused that event. It's a full camera server, and it interacts with the voice control as well as the remote control. We've got a variety of visual and audio gathering hardware, video recording safety glasses, the ability to quickly capture any incidents, any events, and then the ability to catalog it. So many devices out there can record things, but what do you do with it, and how is it sorted, and who's it shared with? And the platform of POW Watch hits that on the front end and gives you the visual to where you can take and assign videos to specific PM techniques or specific parts of a machine for quality control and training. It's an all-inclusive thing for everything you need to see about your facility. Again, POW Watch prevents injuries and deaths and can capture near-miss events. There's so many near-miss events that just don't get recorded, and therefore they're not considered in the safety algorithm on how a facility wants to improve safety. And so the cameras allow you to capture those. We catalog, distribute, and all of this gives you a root cause analysis intelligence. Our POW Stop platform stops your machine centers in the event of an emergency. And what we do is we tie into a fire alarm and redundantly use cameras to see and hear the fire alarms. And what we're trying to do is stop fires or stop fire accelerators. And we can also do that with external sensors. And the goal is to be proactive and predictive with fire safety, but then also be able to be reactive. Thermometrics, we're able to do analysis on thermometrics and improve the machine learning and predictive actions. One of the unique features in the POW Stop is when you convert over motors to a variable frequency drive, you can get a rebate. And so we can give you all these safety things with essentially for no money with the rebates that you can get from your energy provider. So that's POW Stop, prevents fires, disable fire accelerators, and saves you money on electricity. Our final product's the POW Link, and it's one of my favorite because it connects your machine centers and your personnel to the OEMs. We mentioned before, we can communicate with over 200 different PLCs. And so what we're doing is getting your PLCs online so that you can remote troubleshoot. This allows you to keep your machine's firmware and your machine's documentation up to date. It also allows you to share information with the OEM and third-party service provider. System can automatically initiate a service request. And so we're trying to eliminate the amount of downtime. We want to give everybody the data to make things easier for them. So the sessions are logged, and anything that's done remotely, we follow up with, and we provide a summary of the activity. So that's PalLink. This is me working in the IoT lab, and we adapt our solutions into our own manufacturing process. Thank you for your time, and I'm going to flip back over to Jason.